Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's good to have you here this morning. It's not as cold. Okay, that was the official determination that Lonnie and I put together this morning is our weather report, our Doppler weather report, scarf around the neck, report this morning in North Georgia. It's not as cold, but it is. I know there's a lot of frozen wells. I'm seeing the social media, a lot of frozen wells in North Georgia, a lot of frozen water pipes. Sorry that you're experiencing that this morning. Sometimes we don't, and this is not negative, we don't prepare for this kind of weather, or we think we're okay and going to get through it. I myself have left some water running the last 2 nights. I've left some water running. I just grew up in an area where you knew to leave some water dripping at night in the sink to keep some water moving. And we lived on had a crawl space, and I spent too much time as a kid in a crawl space fixing broken pipes. But I hope everybody's okay. I know there's several cities. I've seen reports on the city of Jasper with an enormous amount of water leaks due to this cold temperatures, but not as cold in North Georgia. So we have local news we're going to work on today. We have some local news from Fannin County. We have some local news from Dawson County. We have some local news here in Gilmer County. We got some local news in Blue Ridge, so we're going to do a little local news today. You don't want to miss that. Also at 9 o'clock, I've been waiting for the first of the year, get the holidays out of the way, not to just push Christmas out of the way, but get it out of the way, get back to everyone focusing, and I wanted to get Beth Bennett in here. Beth Bennett at H&R Block. She has several H&R Block offices here in Gilmer County. She's going to be with us at 9 o'clock, and we are going to directly focus on, at 9 o'clock, the tax reform jobs bill, what that means to you as a taxpayer, what happened when they said the mandate is repealed, the Obamacare mandate. What do some of the things in the tax bill do with this year's filing? Maybe there's some things you want to file different this year. So I'm going to tell you what, you're going to say, don't say, well, the tax bill is next year. There may be things you want to file different this year, and we're going to ask Beth that, based on next year's new tax bill. So that'll be at 9 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. Tell all your friends, tune in at 9 a.m. Beth Bennett, H&R Block, tax tips. And we spoke to her last night. We're going to specifically focus in on the tax bill. So moving right along, if you ever want to contact the show, it's 706 889-9700. Lonnie is in this morning. We appreciate Lonnie. Lonnie and I put the official FYN TV weather report together. We spent a lot of time working on that and came up with not as cold. Sam is on road trip. We'll go over that in just a minute, where Sam's at. I got a message about going through Iowa. We're real happy for Sam to get this opportunity to cross the country, but I don't think when she planned this, she anticipated the polar vortex, or what she is experiencing, the 0-degree weather. Last week, we were looking at the forecast, and I was talking with Sam last week, and I said, you're going to find out what real cold is. Real cold. And I think she's in her notes, she's really experiencing some real cold. Going to have some great stories. So we're going to talk about, show some pictures of where Sam's at a little bit. Lonnie's in producing this week. 706 889-9700. That's how you reach the show. You text the show. You can text live when the show is on. If you ever want to be a caller on the show and discuss any of the topics, text us. Let us know. Our producer will contact you, get you on the show of any of the topics. Lonnie, put that back up one more time. And you can email us, chief@fetchernews.com. You can also follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. And like our Facebook page. FetchYourNews.com. Also, our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, FYN TV, Fetch Your News, YouTube. And if you'll subscribe to our channel anytime we're live, okay? Anytime we're live, you'll get a notification or if we post a new video. If you go to FetchYourNews.com, one more little note there. We're going to go over several stories. I know you maybe don't see on some of the counties as much news as you normally see because that's normally there because, you know, the last couple of weeks have been some slow news weeks. The news week has been slow. So we have sports. And I'm telling you what, I got to tell you what, between the Fannin County tournament, wrestling, and Towns County, the Battle of the States, between Jason Banks and his entire sports team, you can go on there and click around all those counties, and there's some great sports stories of how the young athletes in North Georgia did throughout the holiday tournaments that took place in North Georgia. So go and check that out. Now, the nuclear button, okay? So, I mean, let's start there, okay? The nuclear button, all right? And so what we have is we have a tweet, and put up the tweet. It's just called nuclear button, not the picture, the tweet there, Lonnie. Put that up if you could, please. President of the United States, so Kim, Little Rocket Man, I can't pronounce the guy's name. So Little Rocket Man, right? What does he do? He puts out that they are a nuclear, so Little Rocket Man said, North Korea is a nuclear, okay, nation now. They're a powerhouse, nuclear powerhouse. And he has a button on his desk, okay? He has a nuclear button on his desk, all right? Now, it may be the one the Russians gave him because remember when when Hillary Clinton went to Russia and Sergei, is it Kislyak? Not Kislyak, is whatever, the Russian Secretary of State, their equivalent to a Secretary of State, or remember Hillary Clinton went there and put the reset button in place because Obama wanted to reset everything with Russia and start, you know, a new relationship with them. How'd that work out for us? Okay, so anyhow, but maybe the Russians gave the little Rocket Man his red button. But that being said, Rocket Man comes out and he said, and there's a couple things we question here. He comes out and he says, we are a nuclear state now. We need to be recognized within the world that I have nuclear weapons that will reach anywhere in the continental United States. So we know, without going into great detail, we have a long list that gets this award, okay? Gets the award for putting a nuclear nation here, North Korea, in place. We have Bill Clinton, we have George W. Bush, whether you like me saying that or not. We have Obama. List goes on, okay? We have a lot of Secretary of States to thank for getting us to this point. We say facetiously, we appreciate you getting us up to leaving this on the president's desk. But so he has a button on his desk at all times. So President of the United States said, you know, North Korea leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the nuclear button on his desk at all times, okay? Well, someone from his depleted and food-starved regime, please inform him. So if you're out there working in the rice paddies and you can barely move because you weigh 98 pounds and we can see your ribs, okay? Will someone in his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I have a nuclear button too? I got one too, okay? But it's much bigger and more powerful one than he has. My button's bigger than yours, Jack. And my button works. You see, actually, if I hit my button, they work. I have a real button, they work. So show me the picture of the button there, okay? Put the button, there you go. We got the nuclear button, right? It's ready to go. That's a big one Donald has, all right? And I gave you a picture of Trump. Put Trump's picture up, okay? Now, we have Donald Trump here. That's a picture I picked out. It's almost like he's sitting there, you know, ready at any minute to use his button, okay? So anyhow, so Nikki Haley, put up Nikki Haley at the United Nations, all right? Now, supposedly there's been, and you know, you got the liberal media going crazy. The liberals are going crazy because supposedly, and this is, leave her up for a minute because I have a comment about Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley is our UN ambassador, okay? The United States UN ambassador to the UN, however the hell you say it, okay? And she says yesterday, we're not interested in photo ops, okay? Now, the left are gushing that, see, Obama would rush in. This would be a great Obama moment. Yesterday, Donald Trump's not Obama. He's not George W. Bush. He's not, you know, he's not Bill Clinton. Donald Trump didn't fall for the same thing that America always falls for, all right? So the Chinese, which they are cheating in these sanctions, the Russians are cheating in these sanctions. We have shown you the port up there in North Korea, where Russia has a small border. That port is just gushing with products coming into North Korea. So we know China's cheating. We know Russia is cheating. All right. So North Korea, you know, China probably says, look, tell them in Seoul, South Korea, tell the South Koreans, you'd like to send a couple short, fat guys to the Olympics, okay? You got some skinny guys. Now, this is the Winter Olympics, you know, and you got some skinny guys or that can go down the Skeletor or whatever, you know, whatever it is. You know, send the Jamaican bobsled team, whatever. And tell them while you have a couple athletes in Seoul for the Olympics, all right, whenever the Olympics are coming up, that you'd also maybe sit down and talk. Oh my God, the cheers went up with the the Council on Foreign Relations, probably Angela Merkel, probably Theresa May, all of the lefties, the Obama types, they were cheering. Oh my God, the door is open. It's open. Nikki Haley comes out and said, we're not interested in photo ops. There will be no nuclear North Korea. It will not be accepted. This lady comes out, no, absolutely not. We're not interested in photo ops. We're not interested in you going down. There is zero tolerance for a nuclear North Korea. You say, we will end our nuclear program, then there's something to talk about. But photo ops, we're not interested in, okay? Oh my God, that has spun the left's head off, because you see what Rocket Man offered, Obama's administration and the left would have jumped for that. This is a door cracked open, all right? Take Nikki Haley down because I'm gonna put up a couple more pictures. This is a door that is cracked open for diplomacy. We have an opportunity. All right. But when Trump said my nuclear button, okay, is bigger than your button, all right, we found the liberals running this morning. If you watched MSNBC, which I did not stay very long, if you watched MSNBC, if you're watching CNN or any of those lefty programs, all right, they're hiding under the desk. I have three. I have pictures. They're wanting the kids. I'm saying this, you might take it as a joke, but I'm just joking around. But this is how they see it. Put the desk. I got three desk pictures. Here's the liberal. Now, we've got one very famous liberal hiding under. There he is. Mitt's hiding under the desk this morning. We found him hiding under the desk. I mean, he heard that Orrin Hatch was going to retire, and he heard the possibility of getting a run for Senate. But once he heard that nuclear weapon, he ran and jumped under the desk because he would have. Now, Mitt Romney said that Donald Trump would be a disaster of foreign policy. We have some students that are finding their way. You got other pictures? There they are. They're hiding under the desk at college campuses everywhere this morning because Trump said that nuclear button was very. Got another one? Oh, yeah, look, they got all the kids lined up. They got them all under the desk this morning because Trump said my nuclear button is bigger than yours, and it actually works. All right, go back to Nikki Haley, because I want to end this segment with this. Now, here's what I find interesting, okay? Yes, David Ignatius is hiding under a desk somewhere. The left are all hiding under the desk. They're scared this morning because Donald Trump said, look, if you send a little, if you pull a couple guys out, and ladies out, you send them down to Seoul, South Korea for the Olympics. Good for you, okay? We hope they don't win a medal because the weight of the medal will be so heavy it will tip them over because these people are starving in your country, okay? But all jokes aside, so if you're going to send a couple athletes down to the Olympics, good for you. If you say, hey, while we're there, let's get the endless wings. Or let's get the endless baby back ribs at Applebee's. I hear there's an Applebee's close by. We could get ribs and we could sit there and we could talk. No. No photo ops. We're not interested. You see, Obama and the Obama people in the deep state, the Council on Foreign Relations, all right, the people in the world are thinking, wow, what an opportunity, and Trump is blowing it. No. People, listen, President Donald Trump is not blowing an opportunity, okay? Not blowing an opportunity to meet and discuss things with North Korea. See, we've already sent Dennis Rodman. If Dennis Rodman couldn't go to North Korea and get it done, okay? We had Madeleine Albright, okay, folks? We had Bill Clinton. So while the left is all nervous because this diplomatic olive branch, the door was cracked open, there was an opportunity, okay, for the President of the United States to engage, okay, damn it, engage. I get so damn tired of that. Engage in talks with the North Koreans, all right? Your president's no fool. You see, Bill Clinton engaged in talks. Remember, Bill Clinton legitimized, okay, this little rocket man whack job. Madeleine Albright went over there, got her little plastic flowers that they gave her, okay, when she got off the plane. We did not deal with North Korea at this time. Bill Clinton's sends Madeleine Albright. Bill Clinton goes to a podium, which we have the video, we won't play, and brags about the great deal that was made for America with the North Korean government. That's the little Rocket Man's dad, okay? Rocket Man 1, all right? We have all that. We have all the opportunities for talks. We have the Chinese went over there and sent a delegation. We have all this on record. And like I said, all jokes aside, okay? Look at the kid they sent home dead, Wambler, okay? I forget his first name. And I'm not joking. Dennis Rodman's ass goes over there, all tattooed up, earrings, 90 in each ear, you know? And he watches movies with the little dude and plays Tour of Duty on Xbox with him. He says, I kind of like the guy, whatever the hell. All jokes aside, no, you have a president that said, hell no, I'm not Bill Clinton. I'm not George Bush. I'm not Barack Obama. I'm not going to gush because you said, okay, we'll talk. You know, we'll talk and take some pictures. No, absolutely not. So Nikki Haley, and I want to wrap up with this. Nikki Haley, ambassador to the UN, says no photo ops, okay? No photo ops, all right? We will not be a part of it. The only thing we will discuss is a no nuclear North Korea. That's it, nothing else. Not showing up to take pictures. Now, here's my thing with Nikki Haley before I close. Because when we come back, I'm going to do a couple local things, all right? And I'm not quite ready to close this yet. Now, how many of you out there, and this is a question I want to leave for you, okay? How many of you out there, okay, like Nikki Haley? I'm going somewhere with this. How many of you are impressed with how she's handled her position at the UN? How many of you are impressed of how she stood up to the United Nations concerning moving the embassy to Jerusalem? How many of you are impressed about her comments on Pakistan and Iran? How many of you are going through your day every time you see one of these little clips from her and she doesn't care? I mean, when she throws a cocktail party, when the UN throws a cocktail party, you know, they get done. They say, okay, in room 29, the U.S., you know, the United States is having a little cocktail party. You want to, you know, for anybody that wants to stop by. Okay? You know, Nikki Haley has the ambassador from Guam coming by. All right? So my question on how many of you are this impressed with how strong this lady is handling, how well she's handling her assignment at the UN. I just have a question. Why the hell could she not handle South Carolina and the Confederate flag and the history of this country in her state as well as she's handling the UN? Now I have a question. If this lady is standing up to China, I mean, she has a set. I got to give it. She's got a set. You figure it out, okay? If she's standing at the podium there and she's got China sitting there, and she's got, 12 guys with towels on their head over here, and she's got Russia over here, and she's got Great Britain over here. I mean, she's got all these people there, and she stands up and says, bam, this is how it's going to be. And she takes China to task, she takes Russia to task, she takes the world to task for Donald Trump, she takes the Paris Climate Accord, she takes the Trans-Pacific Party. It doesn't matter what it is. She stands up in front of the entire world and goes, bam! I want to know where she was at when she took the Confederate flag down from the capital of South Carolina. I want to know where she was at when she fell to the pressure of radicals. And I don't mean the radical right. I don't mean the people that want to preserve the history. You see, this lady is not the complete start, but she's the domino. I mean, I like Nikki Haley and what she's doing at the UN, but I am so confused with this lady because this is the domino. We would be all morning reading every Confederate monument, okay? We have had the backlash in Georgia with Stone Mountain, Robert E. Lee, all right? We had Richmond, Virginia, Charlottesville. This is the domino that did not have a spine in South Carolina. I just want to know who was calling those shots in South Carolina that led this woman to believe, or led this woman with no spine whatsoever to handle what took place in her state concerning Dylann Roof and the Confederate flag and taking down the flag and what she did. That now she can stand up and take on North Korea. You could take on North Korea. You could stand up to these dictators in the world, but you couldn't handle South Carolina and the Confederate flag and the history of this country. There's a big question with this lady. Could somebody answer it? Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We have a lot more going on today. At 9 o'clock, we are going to have tax tips with Beth Bennett. We're going to have tax tips with Beth Bennett. We found the liberals hiding under the desk, all right? And when we come back, we're going to discuss some local. We're going to go local. We're going to go into Blue Ridge, Dawson County, Fannin County, Blue Ridge, Dawson County, Gilmer County. We're going to go into a little local news. Then we're going to have our tax tips at 9 o'clock. So you want to stick around for that. You don't want to leave because you don't want to leave because what does it mean to you? You may want to file a certain way this year based on the new tax laws and how they affect you. There's 2 new senators. Just go ahead and put that up. Senator-elect Doug Jones. 2 new senators headed to be sworn in today up there in Washington, D.C. All right? Washington, D.C. That's Doug Jones and Tina Smith. Now, Al Franken left yesterday. I think they should have put a clause. Like Al Franken should have said, look, I'm going to leave, but here's the deal, okay? If I leave and when I leave, another writer or cast member from Saturday Night Live, I mean, should the Senate not have a Saturday Night Live representative there, right? So I think he should have said, I'll leave if we can get like Will Ferrell, okay? I'll leave if we can get like Eddie Murphy, all right? Somebody, if we can get a cast member from Saturday Night Live. But anyhow, so the lady on my right, Tina Smith, she has been appointed. She's appointed by the governor of Minnesota to replace Franken, Al Franken. She will take her oath today. Michelle Bachmann is considering running against her, because she has to run now, considering running against her for the seat that Al Franken held. But Michelle Bachmann is actually waiting and going to put it before her God and ask, hey, God, what is it you would like for me to do in my life? So the left, the liberals, are going crazy because she's a woman of prayer and says, well, I'm going to wait to see what God has in counter for my life, or what he decides, or she, oh my God, it's a man, whatever the heck, God. Can't say bad words and God in the same sentence. So Michelle Bachmann's going to wait. So that's Tina Smith. And then Doug Jones. And we understand Roy Moore is still down there waiting for Trigger, his horse, to show up so he can ride off into the sunset. But, anyhow, I don't dislike Roy Moore. But Doug Jones, the Democrat Alabama senator. So they'll make a big deal out of that today. I understand Joe Biden. I understand Vice President Joe Biden is going to escort Doug Jones into the chamber for his swearing in. I understand he'll be a part of that. So they're going to make a big deal out of that new Alabama Democrat senator. So I'm your host, BKP. We'll get right back. We've got a lot of local news we want to look at. Where is Sam? We're going to do our little segment on Where is Sam. She's enjoying her trip. She sent us some pictures. We'll talk about that when we return. Tax tips with Beth Bennett at 9 o'clock. What was that sonic boom in Fannin County the other night? Did you hear it in Gilmer? What is that mysterious sonic boom? And who's running for re-election? Or who's running for election? Or who's throwing their hat in the ring? Local politics, you got to love it. Take us to breaks.